Let's see how a more tired... I can't even finish the sentence. Let's see how a more tired person does on a Lawrence attempt. Which way do I go? Is this a shortcut or is this somewhere else? This is somewhere else. This is not the fast way to the cathedral. Yeah, this is this whole part. Oh. Alright. So I did a little bit of reading. One thing I will do is put on some more fire resist. Really? And set up that Discord. I haven't actually checked in whether that one works or not. Maybe something changed. I'll look into it. Okay. What's the best combination of physical and fire? 60, 100, 110, 50, 90, 90, 110, 90, 90, 90, 90, 60, 100, 80, 90, 80, 80, 90, 80, 80, 70, 40, 40, 80. Alright, so Harrowed Hood or Old Hunter? Damn. And then Charred. Yeah, look at that. Oh my god. Oh, we're chilling. Is there charred panties? There are. Great. Alright. Well, I'll just be here using my subpar reaction speeds and energy and focus to you know, see what's going on with old Lorenzo here. I looked into it. Basically, he's like the cleric beast with a vulnerable head. This is a sick outfit. Wait, this is actually really nice. I thought it would look like shit because it's called the Charred Hunter outfit. Look at this cloak. This looks really good. What's this one? This is the Old Hunter cap with the full Charred set. This looks really good. Wow. Love it. Oh, I need hydration so desperately. A bit rude to shoot me in the face like that, I think. It looks so good. The thing that makes it look good, well, one, I think the hat looks quite good, but it's got a nice kind of dark color scheme. But the thing that makes it is this cloak. It's a really like glossy, smooth look to it. This is sick. It's not the #1, but this is like top 5 for sure. Maybe top 10. This looks really good. Crowfeather, this, Maria. Those are all really doing it for me. What was that move? God, that's so dope. This looks great. Alright, fellers. Spin to win. Okay, I've never really had success harming beasts. But apparently there's like a... Gotta remember to like not try to stagger that guy before he gives me the big swing. The big swing always seems to work on that guy. This is an annoying gauntlet. It's too slow. I was thinking more about like the favorite bosses in the game question and whether I would put Ludwig in there. And it's hard because I thought phase 1 should not belong there, but I thought stage 2 should. So that's kind of complicated. Like phase 1 has a lot of like kind of unfair parts to it, which are not necessarily easily deal withable, and I find it's pretty hard to read. And most cleric battles, generally speaking, most beast battles, generally speaking, I think are too frustrating, or like too hard to read. Oh, did I get him? Fuck, I'm dead. This guy's range is unreal. But I think part 2 is like extremely good. Good music. It looks very good. The tempo and pacing of it is amazing. That's kind of tough. I don't know if I can where I can put that. I'm trying to think of some other bosses in the main game, in the principal storyline, which I thought were like really excellent. I don't know if there are any really. Gascoigne. He doesn't go hunter mode, but he does like have a pace to him, and it's epic and it's huge, and the sword is big. I think I don't know, a couple of times I've kind of shot at him or hit him a couple of times where I thought maybe he could parry. Hey, what's up? And then, but I don't think it's like because it's hunter mode that's so good in part 2, although he is more humanoid in part 2 compared to a beast mode. But like just the pacing and like the feel of it, I thought was excellent, and the music's so great. Cool sword, everything, like a ideal Dark Souls boss in some ways. But part 1 and all the beast bosses, generally speaking, I find very punishing. I'm trying to think of fights I did actually like in the main game. I think Father Gascoigne, the second fight, or technically first fight, is pretty good. Although like the tumbling headstones everywhere are not really, you can kind of cheese it a little bit, which is lame. I can't think of it. The Dark Beast I thought was lame. I don't know, it's hard to say. Anyway. How are you doing? I am so tired. Or I'm like more tired than usual. I stayed up way too late last night. Here's a funny detail. I have now played Triangle Strategy for 2 hours and 44 minutes with the dialogue set to auto scroll. So as soon as the character finishes speaking, it moves on to the next line. I am now, just now, getting to the second battle. The second battle. So you start off within 10 minutes or 15 minutes doing the tutorial battle, simulation, whatever it is. And then I did I did 3 attempts of it because I have it on hard, so it was kind of difficult. So then I have 1.5+ hours of cutscenes after that. That's crazy. Who would do that? It's like the slowest start to a game I've ever seen. Nick was like, hey, what do you think of the dialogue so far? I'm like, it doesn't matter what I think of the dialogue so far. It's so boring just because it never stops. All right, big guy. What do you got? Oh, he's going to blow me up again. I'm dead. Ooh, that's a range on that thing. What's this guy doing? What's he doing? Pretty cool music, I guess. What's this guy's deal? Oh. Same moves as Cleric Beast? Okay. I'm pretty fucked here. Oof. Wow. What's up? The DLC music, all the DLC boss music is very, very good. I was just playing Ludwig before. I played the Ludwig music like every day for the last like 4 days. The Kos one was quite good. Maria, pretty good. I don't remember the Maria one that clearly, honestly. Even like the Living Failures. Is that what they're called? The Living Failures? That was good. But Ludwig Phase 2 is... Oh, I was too early. Ludwig Phase 2 is literally one of the best boss themes I've ever heard in my life. I'm not kidding, it's perfect. It's up there with like Kefka and Sephiroth themes. It's so amazing. Yeah, I don't know. And I finished eating my chicken at like 10:15 at night. I had a little bit of ice cream. At that point, like that's like an hour before I normally go to bed. So I stayed up till like 1. Oh, I'm stuck in the corner here. So I stayed up till like 1, then went to bed. I still got up at like 8. Ugh. It's not that bad, but it feels that bad. Like, the thing I learned, like, a long time ago is that 9 hours of sleep from like 3 a.m. till noon is not the same as 9 hours of sleep from like 10 till 7 or something. At a certain point, no matter how much sleep you get, you're still kind of like effed the next day. So for me, who I usually go to bed at like 11:30, even going to bed at 1 felt like pretty crappy. It was alright. How's the smoked chicken? It was fine. But like, it had nice smoky flavor through it, but I think pellet smokers are honestly overrated. So pellet smoker is like the one I have here. Like it's like looks like basically like a big barbecue, but it's not that good. Like it doesn't give you that like wood chip flavor, you know what I mean? Wood chips are like the king. What the hell? That was slow. That was slow too. Am I dead here? Like the pellet smoker, like yeah, there's flavor to it, but like I didn't really get crispiness on the skin, or the barbecue sauce didn't really. The barbecue sauce didn't really like crisp up the skin to make it delicious. So yeah, we're doing okay. All right, but like the thing is here, I don't have that much like gas in me right now. Like I'm looking at Lawrence, and this kind of helped me during like the coast fight or something like that. But like I could have just barbecued that chicken at like 400, and be done in like 45 minutes. All right, big guy. So apparently you can hurt his head, but I'm not having that much success with that. Here comes the big explosion. Okay. Should I go big dog mode and just use the other one? Generally speaking, when I fought the Generally speaking, when I fought this guy when I fought the cleric beast in the main game, he actually looks more like the. Yeah, he looks like the cleric beast. Normally, when I fought this guy before, I just kind of tagged him with the whip. Yeah, it goes up to like 600 if I wanted to, or 500. Is this my first playthrough of Bloodborne? Kind of. I started 2 Mondays ago, and I ran through the new game, but then I kind of accidentally fought Gehrman and beat it, so I didn't do the DLC. So this is New Game Plus. So this is like the last boss of the DLC, and then I got the umbilical cords for the true ending. So ideally speaking, this is the last DLC boss, the other ones are dead. And then ideally we do this, then Gehrman, then the final boss. So that's all that's left. The three main things I guess I forgot in New Game was I didn't get Eileen the Crow or do her storyline, which I wanted to, because I wanted to try the Twin Blades, the Blades of Mercy, but they've turned out to be pretty bad. Yeah, I beat Maria and Kos yesterday. And then the day before I beat the Living Failure and did the Clock Tower and whatever, and beat Ludwig in the morning. But Ludwig was the hardest boss fight I've ever done in my entire life. I'm not exaggerating. It took me like 9 hours to beat Ludwig on New Game Plus. But again, similar to Amygdala, similar to several other circumstances, I insisted on using the Mercy Blades. So I could have literally cut off like 3 hours off that time probably if I just got back to the Threaded Cane, which is what I've been using the entire game. The Threaded Cane is so good, and I'm so used to using it at this point. Because at that point I had like 45 skill, and the Mercy Blade is cool, but they just don't do that much. Like they're too short range, they take too long to like ramp up. So if just like with the Amygdala fight, which I had a lot of trouble with until I changed back to the Threaded Cane because of the range. If I just Threaded Caned it, whip mode on phase 1 of Ludwig, and then cane mode on phase 2 of Ludwig, I would have been able to do it, I think, a couple hours faster. But yeah, that was like the most difficulty I've ever had in my life. Oh. Not even joking. Not exaggerating at all. Oh, I was healing. This big fucker gets me every time. I'm dead. Shit. Now I'm using Maria's Rakuyo. So I'm going to try to use this or the Threaded Cane for the rest of the game. Ideally the Rakuyo. I might actually use the Threaded Cane on this guy. Just for the range. Like the whip mode. And then I'll try to use Rakuyo for the rest of the playthrough for as much as I can. And then, so the weapons I have at +10. Probably one too many, honestly. Because sometimes I got a little excited. So Threaded Cane is +10, Blade of Mercy is +10. Holy Moonlight Sword, because I think it's so cool. And if I ever play New Game +2, I'll use that. And then recently I put Rakuyo up there. So I bought 2 Blood Rocks over the course of the 2 playthroughs with Insight. And then got 2 from... I missed the Blood Rock in my first playthrough. Because I saw that hole where the brain is, and I didn't want to drop down there. So I didn't get that one, but I got the New Game Plus Blood Rock, and then the DLC one. Wait, I must have bought 3, because I've got the Evelyn +10 as well. So I must have bought 3 Blood Rock. Right? I guess so. Kind of jumping all over the place here. Coast, I was expecting... Coast was pretty tough. But once I realized that he's parryable, things got a lot better. I spent as much time fighting the 2 giants in the well to get Rakuyo than I did fighting Coast, basically. and in both cases, I just had to learn how to parry properly. Those guys just ripped me a new one. I had like a... What's it called? The Prince Albert? They basically like pierced me a Prince Albert. Why do I always let this guy hit me so much? Look, he's so aggressive. I can't keep trading with this guy. He's huge. Hey, you're a monster. Not to brag, but... Oh, this guy is so strong. I'm proud of you. That's a great accomplishment. I'm so sick of this guy. Shit. I'm so scared of this guy, man. He's such a monster. I'm dead? Alright. Apart from Ludwig, which would you say is the hardest boss? Who did I have the most trouble with in this game? Probably Blood-Starved Beast, New Game Plus. I probably could. I think probably Blood-Starved Beast and New Game Plus I thought was very hard. Maybe? No, I don't think I have to fight him. He's just in the way, so I'm kind of doing it. I'm like not very dialed in right now. Pretty dialed out actually. Yeah, I think maybe Blood-Starved Beast I thought was quite hard. Like that hit me was crazy. I think I haven't fought the like secret final boss yet, so I'm not sure about that one. I'm just going off which ones I had the most trouble with, just in terms of time. I wonder if there's something I'm missing. Murgo's Wet Nurse I found pretty easy. I'm not sure. I've only played Dark Souls 1, 2, and this game. So between those 3, I don't recall any difficult bosses from Dark Souls 2, really. Ornstein and Smaug I thought were very hard in Dark Souls 1. Actually, I found the Bell Gargoyles pretty hard in both those games, especially Dark Souls 1. But those games didn't really have that hard bosses, I find. They're more like, the hard things of those games was like the traversal and like exploration and getting through areas. Not too many of the bosses were that crazy. But Ornstein and Smaug I thought were the hardest. That took me a long time. Like probably 3 hours. Later, losers. Yeah, I really thought that was a terrible game. While I was playing it, I was like, it's still a Dark Souls game. I'm still enjoying those parts of it. Oh shit, that was a one shot. Man, I'm so like not focused right now. When I was playing Dark Souls 2, I was like, all right, there's still some parts of this is cool, like a huge amount of weapons, lots of different like stuff to do. It's still a Dark Souls game, but that was Dark Souls 2 was like a miserable experience, like miserable. Like I hated it most of the time. I was hating my experience. Especially the hollowed system. How slow you are. It took forever to drink an Estus flask. I really actually didn't have very much fun with it. I thought I was kind of having fun in it until I started playing this and realized like what's actually enjoyable. That's a good way to describe it, yeah. God, I'm so fucking checked out right now. What the fuck? Maybe I shouldn't play this game today. We'll see how I feel in like a little bit. But my like care and like locked in levels are too low. Yeah. I mean, Perfect World, I can get those games. I can get DS3 and Sekiro and Elden Ring done before the Elden Ring DLC, which is unrealistic. Especially considering I'm going away. I'm on holiday for 2 weeks in the second 2 weeks of June. So, hopefully, as long as I get Sekiro and Dark Souls 3 done before mid-June, I'm happy. Maybe Elden Ring, maybe I'll get sometime Elden Ring, but Elden Ring I think is the longest one. So I don't expect to get all 3 of those done. These games are basically taking me about 2 weeks each. I suspect Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring will take longer. I played Dark Souls Remastered last year. Yeah, it's a big boy. The Elden Beast is a big beast too, from what I understand. I've managed to keep... I've seen my fair share of Elden Ring streams, like in terms of like bosses and stuff like that. I have a pretty good sense of the game, but like I wouldn't say that I'm like... I really, really know a ton. I've been trying to keep away from it. The other thing I've been thinking about is like what kind of style of items and equipment to use in each game. Dark Souls 1 was like Havel set and that ring and the fossilized dragon tooth and just be the chunkiest lad ever. Dark Souls 2 I did dexterity. Mostly the Drake Blood Greatsword was like the most effective one. I tried to dual wield rapiers. I did like rapier and parrying dagger for a while. Things like that. They're all fine. None of them are really that amazing. The Drake Blood Greatsword basically is like a medium heavy two-hander. And that felt like, it just, with the S scaling on that weapon, it's a DLC weapon, it was just so effective. I think this might be a threaded cane fight. I want the range. That's the same move that Amelia did. Oh, I'm dead. Nope. He's got a lot of health. Fuck. Oh, I'm dead. Nope. Oh, now I'm dead. Alright. This is a threaded cane fight for sure. So why do you think it doesn't get that update? Or like, what do you think it is about this game that they're not like into? Is it because they collaborated with it? It's probably like a weird money decision. You know what I mean? Hey, Vika. Trevor, I went to bed at like 1 because I was so full for my chicken and got up at like 8ish or something like that. I could not care less about how this is going right now. I'm not doing this as cope. I am like 40% focused right now. It's not a good boss mode to be in. How did that not parry him? So we're getting to temps, you know? That's what we're saying. We're logging experience. I really do think it's because there's like a rev share with this game, right? I assume. If they collaborate on this game with the Sony Dev Studio, whatever it's called, like Studio One or whatever it's called, it's probably just a more complicated procedure for who has rights for it. Same reason this is why it's never on Steam. Best of my ability, to best of my knowledge. Hey, fellers. Oh God. All right. I don't know. I know you read that. Does it mean do those weapons have like a higher? Hold on. Let me check the stats. But like, are you sure you're not getting baited? Like it can't like change can't change everything. It is a beast boss. Okay, what weapon is that called? Hold on. I have some of these weapons. Saw cleaver. So this stat over here. Attack is raised versus kin and severely transformed beasts. Do any of these have more than 100 on severely transformed beasts? I don't see it. Maybe some of these things when you upgrade them. Saw cleaver, saw spear. Maybe these things goes to above 100 when you upgrade them. Interesting. But like that's weird to me. Why would that not be here? Look. Special attack versus severely transformed. Right. Check out this set though. The charred hunter garb. It's got high fire. It got high fire resist. This thing looks amazing. This cloak is really doing it for me. Tattered leather, really smooth looking. Doing great. We're doing just great. Did you use olive oil and butter in that hash brown today? It's the most important thing. My fashion-born set. That makes sense. The whip is also the whip does a lot of damage. Okay, that explains I think that explains the color. I looked at it. I'm like, I was trying to figure out whether it's because the grating of the potato is thinner. Okay, no onion either. Okay, yeah, this thing makes sense. Okay, yeah, hit the rock. We're doing fine. I thought it might be because like they're kind of thinner noodle-like strands with that grater. Yeah, I grate the potato and then I squeeze out the water. In that Gordon Ramsay video, he puts the grated onion and the potato and the spices and olive oil and everything into the potato in the colander, the sieve, and then squeezes it all out. That doesn't make sense to me because you're losing the cayenne. I think you should squeeze the potato and then add the onion. That way there's a little more onion moisture, but that's a lot of flavor. That's actually like a really old school cooking style. Like if you go back to like 40s and 50s cuisine in America, like onion juice, grated onion. He's not a moron, he's a really good cook. And he has really good programs. I think you don't like his attitude. He has excellent content, particularly for like a British audience, like the ones he cares about. And then kind of stirs it up as kind of a dick to like the American one, because that's how American TV works. This guy's attack is just one shot. Yeah, I think it's an attitude thing, more than like a merit thing. I used to watch The F Word, which is a show in England, and that where he actually cares about the audience and is a smarter audience, is the best version of him. Also, there's a ton of good recipes. Yeah, I mean that's fair, but I think he's also like playing the engagement game. You know what I mean? Kitchen Nightmares, Restaurant Makeover, all these things are like the beast that American TV requires. Kind of a cynical move, you could say, I guess. He was trying to like rush through it. Everyone else was an agent of chaos, and he was trying to have a normal talk show appearance. Yeah, I remember that. Classic like Letterman and Conan move was like, what the fuck, man? Get out of the way. This guy's really frustrating me. For like just a little guy. Like one out of every 3 or 4 times that like a cook would come on, like Letterman or Conan, they like end up like chugging wine from the bottle. You know, it almost would inevitably happen. Good times. There are some people whose like cooking stuff like totally vibes with my own. Gordon often does, not always, but like for a lot of like kind of typical European and North American stuff, his taste really vibes with mine. I have a New York Times cooking subscription, and there's one of their food writers is this woman named Melissa Clark. She is like the closest to my exact taste in food, like of anyone on the planet. She's so good. It like just perfectly works for me. When does he explode there? That animation. You can kind of go through this guy. Oh, it's faster. Am I dead? Yeah. That's the thing with Letterman. Like, older Letterman didn't have that same, like, chaotic subversive force. So if you only watch, like, later Letterman, I don't think you'd ever, like, really care that much or think he was that amazing, but like early on he was like early Conan, early Letterman were really good. That like young nervous energy is good for this. So where were you at in your Bloodborne playthrough that you continued last night? Maybe I can lure this guy out and kill by the boulder too. Oh. Okay, seamlessly change targets from them to me. I like that. Okay, I have to pee after this attempt. So this guy's basically like the first boss, just flaming. Ooh, that's a nice one. Whoa, one shot. Damn, this guy's hitting really hard. I'll be right back. Yeah, I went to go get my credit card to give you all my money. I'm not sure I should stream this game today. I want to get some progress in. Ideally speaking, because halfway through the day tomorrow my parents come, and then I'm kind of like out of commission until like Tuesday. But I'm like not here at all. Why can't I see it? Heads up, this emote is not publicly listed. It can be added to your channel, but we cannot verify it is safe to show on a live stream. Oh, I'm not signed into this one. Can't I see it? Show him out there. You have good taste in GIF emotes. Yesterday, after looking at what you wrote in Discord, I added like I went through the first 10 pages of 7TV and added like I don't know 30 emotes or something. Plus KO. There's a lot of stuff there. I just went by like top 10 popular. Like the top 10 pages of popular. And mostly like made sure I had enough Pepes. Some other stuff as well. You gotta have a certain quota of Pepes. I'm a big fan of Monka Steer. Wicked. The Takes Notes one. I'm a fan of those ones. There's a lot of garbage in 7TV. There's a lot of like perverted shit, mostly, but some of it's pretty funny. Yeah, so I don't know. I made a start. I just signed in right now on my streaming PC, and it said your emotes have been dramatically raised to 600. I think I was at 100 before. How do I do this guy? Keep going through him, I think. Oh shit. The sweep I gotta watch out for. That's dangerous. Because I keep thinking it's gonna do the vertical slam. But the sweep is the one that I still haven't really got queued up. Not sure. Just right now when I click the 7TV app and then signed in on my other computer, it says your cap has been increased to 600. But I think it was half that at least, if not more before. I don't think the Molotov should be my my inventory. Any feeling? Not the Molotov guy. Not that either, in case I accidentally use it. I guess I can just run past all these dudes. That's the Ludwig rifle, I think. I never understood the appeal of like the spread rifle. I guess it's a more reliable parry, but why do something that has like 1/3 of the damage of the crisper rifles? I understand that. I guess I could use the bone marrow ash if I start to realize that like shooting the gun helps. I think you use the gun to wear off, to wear down his head to get a stagger. Oh, they're giving it to him this time. I definitely have Booba as well. I have Booba because it's like a good animation of like basically like Monka Giga. Same difference. It's just a good animation. It's not like I got caca too. It's not much about the like the booba part of it as much as I really like the animation. Am I dead? It's kind of same. It's kind of lame that I left this boss to the end because I really don't like beast bosses in this game. I'm dead. The key to Bloodborne bosses is what range. I've said this 100 times. What range you stay at to elicit the attacks you want to elicit. Here comes second sweep. Third sweep. Oh. Third sweep. Oh. Couldn't get ahead of that one fast enough. First sweep, second sweep. That hit me, really? What do I do against that? What do I do against that? I hate jumping attacks when they get off the screen. It's so stupid. You have to be careful. If you focus on the head and you're trying to attack him when he's down there. Oh, I'm dead. Ooh, that's a not good one to be under him. I'm dead. No. Oh, really? I guess I was too far away. I was too close to me. Move. Normally speaking, if you can get them to do those kind of swipey attacks, even though they're pretty high instance of hitting you, they are pretty good at making you. They're still them on the defensive, which is good for you. Move. This is bad. Oh, they did nothing. Okay, relax. He's mad. Oh, he was very mad. Oh, I was really slow on a roll there. Okay, he's pissed. What is this? Oh. God, is his face... He's like way more angry now. I feel it's the same attacks, but he's like, his attack speed's higher or something. I'm dead. Yeah. He's pissed. Might do a little restock run too of my stuff. Okay, so I take a couple of stops here of fighting this guy and the other guy. I'm just gonna stop doing that. You have to kind of bait the little dudes. You have to bait the little dudes because of the boulder. Because if you jump up to the place where the five beasts are, they're pretty tenacious and they might just one-shot you. We go up here, pull the beasts, run back down, stop here, do this little song and dance. Okay, goodbye, fellas. Let me just stockpile any blood vials. You have none? Okay. Oh, the twofer. Oh boy. Yeah, go for him. God, that guy is such an animal. Oh, there's 3 goldfinches in the tree. So lovely. Right. What are you doing here? What am I doing? My guy really moved forward there. It's supposed to hit in the legs. Oh, because that was the head. I got it. Oh, I hate beast bosses. I'm dead. Why is it only the goldfinches that get obsessed with the window and try to like bump into it or kind of like peck at it? There's like 6 or 7 different bird species which come here. Only the goldfinches are like, what's going on with the window, bud? And kind of like peck at it and bump into it. What is your deal? Are they more inquisitive than sparrows, chickadees, etc.? I was hoping those would be blood vials. Yeah, they look in the window. Actively. What do you guys want? It's like 6 of them. The thing I think is very funny about birds is how the males... Oh my god, that guy's such a monster. I think it's a very funny thing about birds is how the males are always like the brightly colored ones, full of pageantry. And the females are like all just like basic brown birds with a quarter of the color. It's like their job is to be... Their job is to be like tastemakers. That was the word people used before influencers. Tastemakers. Cringe. Influencer sounds cringe too, but it's like so mainstream that like, you don't really think about it that much. Okay, where do I get this guy? This guy's such a dickhead. What are you doing? What are you doing? Shit. That hit me. I got smushed. I don't know. Dead? That's, I guess, that move is kind of like your license to strike. That one. You gotta stay close to him, but like the sweeps are pretty hard to deal with if you do stay close to him. But this is scary. Okay, that's a kill if he gets you for sure. That's like, what do you do against that? Basically, most moves are just jump behind him, I think. His weakness is the head. I know that for like viscerals. Okay, relax. Oh, it got me. Wasn't that bad. The follow-up probably is though. Good. He looks more flamey now. But he's only at like 85% health. Ah. That looked like the move where he would ignite his fist instead of doing like the triple attack. Do I edge toward his weak arm? Do I tend toward his weak arm? It clearly seems like most of my opportunities to hit him are to go through him, but some of those moves are pretty dangerous. There's a couple of moves where you can leap in and kind of tag him after he does like a big combo. Oh well, it's just kind of learning it. Oh. Filled me full of buckshot. That guy is just such a monster. Alright, big guy. Start to learn some of these moves. Ideally, I go forward there. Slow. There's one more. Shit. Oh, that worked out pretty well. Oh, it's an early goal. He often goes behind me here. He's often facing away from me when I go through this. I'm dead. One more, eh? Jerk. It's so hard. What do you do? I always dodge back after that one. Then the third hit's the big sweep. With the triple ground sweep, you have to go through him. But yeah, I rolled too early on that one. I heard you can kind of like, one of the things I was reading is you can kind of just like use a lot of gunshots in his head to weaken it up. I figured that being pretty close to the end of New Game Plus, in terms of thinking about my point distribution, I already have my skill at 50, which I don't really intend to go past that. And so it's not really realistic to put points into Strength or Arcane here, because like I'm not going to get to a point where I can use the Holy Moonlight Sword in New Game Plus. So I think the rest of my points go into Vitality and Blood Tinge. My Blood Tinge is like 26 or 27, my Vitality is like 35. I think I'll probably get Vitality to 40. Where'd that loot go? Fuck. Where'd I go? I think I'll probably get Vitality to 40 and Blood Tinge to whatever number it is. I don't realistically get that many more levels. So much of this is like boss time now, so you got like maybe one level after the boss. And then like grind if you're a cringer. Yeah, go get them. Fuck. I'm dead. God, you're such a douchebag. I can't even see what he's doing. I'm dead here. I can't even see where I am. I just panicking press circle. Panic pressing circle. Oh. I think you can punish this one. As long as you don't get hit by it. Watch out, watch out. His arm, how do you like that? Yeah, you can punish this, I think. As long as you get hit with the gout of flame, which I keep being hit by. This one you gotta get behind him. The thing I'm so worried about is like the triple or quadruple like ground sweep. One, stopped at one. 1, 2. What are you doing? Now he's loving it. Is it just your mid-range move or what? What are you doing? Who are you grabbing at? Two, 3. I'm always late on that roll. The 4th one? Oh, and then the dodge. Damn. I just slow move there. That one I need to be in front of him. I mean behind him. I think the Blood Echo's retrieve text is a bit big. 1, 2, 3. I'm always late on that one. Fuck. Early on that one. Really? One hit. Sick, man. That one I gotta go forward through. Lawrence, please. Here's the big one. Do not stand and shoot here. Oh, okay. What are you doing? I'm trying to grab your... Oh shit, that's a new one. Oh, okay. Okay, I get it. This is your move now. I'm dead. Nope. Oh, I'm so slow in these rolls. I'm dead. What am I stuck against? The fucking staircase? He's pissed. What's the next move? Little hop skip? Visceral? Bad? One more? Oh, he flopped on me. Cheeser. I'm kind of stuck in a corner here. Stay here. God, he's like the shark giants again. 1, 2. That's it. Move, move, move. Too much here. swipe here. There's a lot of damage. What the fuck? I don't even think I'm really trying to parry here. Like, apparently if you wear down his head, that's how you get the stagger for the visceral shot. Judas is a good Lady Gaga song. One of my favorite ones is Alejandro. Bad Romance. Classic. I haven't listened to her much since like the Born This Way era. Before that, I was like, this is one of the most famous women in the world. My stepdad is like British and like a guy with a PhD and like a solid 10 years older than my mom. He's always been kind of my metric. If he's heard about someone, actually now he's retired, so he's like spends more time dicking around the internet. So he like knows more random stuff. Like he knew who Billie Eilish was and everything. All these things that make no sense. But he was always my metric. If he knew who someone was, they were really famous. Or if he asked me about something, then it kind of like had penetrated pop culture. Like 10 years ago, he's like, should I get a Wii Fit? I was like, no, you will never use it. Or like, yeah, 10, 15 years ago, he knew who Lady Gaga was. I thought the trailer looked good for that movie. Alejandro had a great music video. I like the original Joker. I like that Joker movie. We'll see how this one goes. Hopefully it's good. She's a good choice. I like Joker. I thought it was striking. Do I get any of the doorway, sir? I need to get past. God, this guy's such a dickhead. Where is he? I can't even see my body. At a certain point when she started doing like Tony Bennett jazz albums, I'm like, does Lady Gaga care anymore? I guess she's just kind of changing her thing. Yeah, right. It's a niche category. I never saw any of the Suicide Squad movies, but like, it never really struck me as like, oh, Margot Robbie is like perfect for this. Look at that, 360 camera spin. Oh god, I'm so slow with my rolls sometimes. Getting a little better spotting his moves. Nice hit. I think I might be able to use a bone marrow ash here to strengthen my blood tendrils. I will always get hit by those. I'm dead here. I'm not. Shit. I don't like being in the narrow part of the hallway with him. Why does he take so long to react to it? Back up, back up. Stop having a tantrum on the floor like a baby. That's a lot of damage. 2,700? Just don't die here to the flames. Oh, that's such a cheat. It does nothing. It's a cheesy move, though. Whenever he does, he does it like 3 times in a row. What is this? Is he like pulling his panties off or something? Whoa, that was a big flame. This just always hits me. Move, 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 move. Oh my god, it's like incidental damage 3-shotting me. With vibration, with like head vibration on your VR whenever you get hit by some huge boss. It is, but this is the hunter's nightmare. So it's like the, I don't know, the transformed world But yeah, it's the same. It's the same fight in the Grand Cathedral, but he's similar to the Cleric Beast, which is the boss in the bridge. People like vibrating 5 IQ out of their brains by playing VR support with Vibrate. Yeah. Just this area looks slightly different because there's all this like overgrown humpy stuff here now. Whereas before you could go here, you could go that way. All this stuff is like this weird like lava overflow. But this was the route to go forward in the previous game. Past Vicar Amelia. Okay. Guess he just doesn't like my ass. I was looking at like a Reddit post when I was looking into Amygdala or Ludwig or something. Talking about, yeah, it was about Ludwig. They're like, Ludwig is challenging because he's like, he challenges all your skills in the game. There's not like one kind of cheesy thing. Like Host is about parries. Some bosses are about like, I don't know. One boss was like, I think it was Cleric Amelia. Vicar Amelia was like a DPS race or something like that. One boss was like you use poison on them and it's really effective. I forget which one that was. The other one's like Bloodstarved Beast was like always go left was apparently the strat. They said most bosses have like a strat, whereas Ludwig doesn't really have like a gimmick. He's just fucking, you have to do everything. Kind of like your overall like jack of all trades test. But a lot of those like boss techniques I don't remember. Like it's not the way I did those things. Just kind of like get through it. God, the range of that is crazy. That's the one I always miss. Move, 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 move. This is like his new cheese move. He's only did it once this time. Where the fuck am I? I can't see where I am. I think I'm screwed here. I was against the wall, that's why. What are we doing, big guy? What is this? It's so weird. It's like very low damage. Stop. Oh, that's a new one. Oh, wait. No, never mind. Oh, who are you hitting at? I lost my lock on. Awkward. Where am I? Oh. Oh. I didn't know I was at 100% health. I didn't know I was not at 100% health. For DLC, pretty understandable. They use level assets from previous games. Like there's parts of 1 that were in 2. And then for a DLC it makes sense, I think. The main purposes of this DLC, in my impression, are to expand the range of weapons and to finally make some satisfying bosses. Yeah. And also, one thing that's admirable of this is that there's a lot of characters who are very consistently referenced in the kind of like item, flavor, text, lore, and everything of the main game, who you don't really see until the expansion. Kos, Ludwig, and Maria are all like talked about in the story of the game. Is your favorite Dark Souls 3, since you're a Dark Souls 3 connoisseur, or does one of the later ones do you think is a better experience? What the fuck just happened? Right. I thought you'd be more of a Dark Souls 3 connoisseur for all the time you put into it. Sekiro does seem like a clean game, though. That was awkward. I don't like being here. Oh. I dead? Yeah. Do you have any temptation to play other Armored Core games? They've been making them forever. There's a guy named Majular, M-A-J-U-U-L-A-R, on YouTube. He's like a good old Canadian lad. And like, he does really, really long retrospectives or really long descriptions of games. Oh shit. Yeah. Oh, that was close. So the first one I saw him for was like a Xenogears one. It was like 3 hours, basically. But after that, he did, or not, recently he did like a retrospective on the Kingsfield games. And Kingsfield were like the PS1 or PS2 From Software games. With things like Holy Moonlight Swords. But they're more like first-person dungeon crawlers. Pretty punishing early 3D games. It's pretty interesting to go into like their history. And then yeah, they're making Armored Core games back then too. I think they'd be pretty brutal to play now. But there's a lot of ways that they're like fog walls and like some monsters and things like that. There's some similar details. I'm not sure what the good mech games are. I don't think they did Tenchu. I could be wrong. I'm like 75% sure they didn't do Tenchu. I gotta start getting hit by that. Maybe. I'm gonna look into it. I love Tenchu. I think it's an American company that did that. Could be wrong. I love the music in Tenchu. That was the thing that really stuck with me. God, that fucking AoE is so big. You can see the another game that I think has a lot of similarities that I really liked. That was PS1, maybe PS2 as well. Was Onimusha, kind of like Samurai Resident Evil. That game had like one of like the sickest aesthetics ever. Do I think this is Little League Part 2? No. I'm just like... I think it's fairly similar to a Cleric Beast and stuff like that. Oh, they did later Tenchus. Interesting. I'm just like completely not like... I'm completely checked out right now. So I'm not like trying that hard. So hopefully it doesn't do a Little League thing. I might just like stop playing it a little bit. I don't really have like the ball sack right now to like actually fight a Bloodborne boss, I think, unless I start like feeling more energetic later. I'm just like kind of like dicking around, which is not really how you excel at this. It's not a good like chilling game, you know what I mean? Oh, no, don't fight me. Fight the big guy. Compared to some of my attempts in these other guys, I'm at like 60% energy. In terms of like how much like heart I'm putting into it. So I'll probably quit early. Get some good attempts in tomorrow, unless this kind of goes well. I don't know. Anyway, what... You're saying like the most good mech games are old school? I wonder what the good mech games were. I think Zone of the Enders is supposed to be good. The range on this thing is so annoying. I think the Zone of the Enders games are pretty cool. I'm not sure, I never played them. I think mechs used to be like more popular in Japanese culture. So maybe that's why the good mech games are old school. Like most like big mech series were like 80s and 90s in Japan. Like I don't think people really do them anymore. Like Xenogears is a mech game, but it's like secondary to being an RPG, obviously. Like Gundam, Macross, Evangelion, those things are all like old school. Doesn't seem to be like the vibe anymore. So like, I don't know, there's Mech Warrior, I think that was more American. Fuck. Fuck at the visceral road. With the butt. Couldn't get the butt, damn it. I'm always late on that. I'm dead here, I think. He pressures me too much. I don't like being here. Where the hell is he? What's happening here? What are you doing? Stupid ass move again. What is that? Is he healing? Where am I? Am I dead? Yeah. Oh, I'm not dead. Now I probably am, yeah. Squaresoft had Front Mission. I've played the Front Mission games. Or I played Front Mission 2, I believe, or Front Mission 1, which is an SNES game. Yeah, I say I'm dead a lot when I've like healed or attacked past my window for healing or attacking. Okay, time for a little run here. I am. Yeah, like Front Mission, I thought was cool because it had like a really good team of like Squaresoft developers on it, and good music and stuff like that. But the game is like really, really rinky-dinky. Maybe kind of similar to the way that Armored Core 6 is, where like I'm not saying anything bad about it, but I think there's a lot of time where you spend like customizing your mech and putting on different arms and shoulders and things like that. You know what I mean? And so for an SNES game, that's like a pretty brutal interface. I'm sure it's a lot better now. It just got boring. I played it for like, I could never play Front Mission. From a lot of like the tactics games. The reason I think games like Final Fantasy Tactics were so good on PlayStation, and like that's still like probably one of the best tactics games, is outside of Shining Force, which is a really simple system. A lot of like tactics strategy games on 16-bit systems, it's too like, it's not fun. Games like Ogre Battle, to me, Ogre Battle, Front Mission, games like this, they're cool, but like at that level, on that system, Romance of the Three Kingdoms, those games are like boring. Like tiresome. I think he's chasing now. I'm gonna go get the other guy. You guys deal with him. Yeah, I love the game, but it sucks. But I just love it. I love the idea of it. Maybe there is a Romance of Three Kingdoms game that's good eventually. But they do suck. You know what I mean? I just love the idea of them. Like the unique weapons. Did they kill the pig already? Oh. Like the unique weapons, the unique dudes, like getting the really strong heroes. Those are sick. But like, have I ever finished a game? Never. Oh, these guys are just dicking those pigs. Normally the pig takes out like at least 3 of them. Don't kill me any of these souls. I feel like I got less this time. Why is that? Yeah. Koei used to be like a huge company. Or like, no, I mean, the Koei put out so many games and that's in that era. But like, that is not the era for them at all. But I think eventually they just started making Dynasty Warriors games and Romance of the Three Kingdoms. Maybe those games sell well in Asia. I assume they do. But all those Koei games were like really clunky on SNES. And Dynasty Warriors was popular, but it's, I don't like it. Yeah, me too. Amazing soundtrack, amazing sort of like non-linear game, unconventional sort of gameplay requirements. Yeah, you played the shit out of that, way more than I did. Got deep in there. But I like that game a lot because like the ways that you could complete it and the ways that you could play it were so varied. Really amazing. I do think it actually could translate well to now. Another game, we talked about this before, but another game I find fascinating was Sid Meier's Pirates. It seemed like it was so cool. I never played it though. Yeah, you can play a fencer, you can play a merchant, you can play an explorer. Those are vastly different ways to play the game. That's a good thing. I was mentioning this before when I first got on. I played it last night between 10:30 and 12:45. I am now 2 hours and 44 minutes into Triangle Strategy, and I saved on the cusp of the second battle. This is with like dialogue on auto scroll and 3 attempts of the tutorial battle because it was on hard and I got wrecked the first 2 times. So by 60 minutes, I had done the initial dialogue, and then it had 3 attempts of like the little quick first battle, and then it was like 7 cutscenes in a row. What? I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen anything like it. I think it was 5 to 6, including main story and side story. Oh, I know. It's already cool. I like the idea of it. I like that. The thing I like is I love games where they give you like so your initial team of like the people you get. Oh, you get a swordsman, a fire mage, a like defensive support melee guy, another defensive support melee guy, a healer, a knight, an archer, and a rogue, basically. I love when they give you like one of each at the beginning of the game. Like in Shining Force, when you start off with like Chester, Sarah, and the hero. You just kind of have like that basic party, you know what I mean? You don't have to think about like, oh, this guy's the better centaur than this guy or things like that. I just like when you get one of everything, it's like such a clean gameplay. I love that shit. That made me happy when I was playing Shining Force 3 on Android, which I couldn't do. It's that my phone couldn't handle it. Yeah, it's kind of like it's gated behind like the conviction system, right? Like your dialogue options. I really hope the dialogue options aren't always the same conviction. Oh, I'm dead. Regardless of dialogue position. Like if there's 3 different conviction options and one of them's always the third one's always the second one, I would really hate that. I just try to do the thing that sounds most interesting. It's often the third option though. That's what I'm kind of worried about. Yeah, I'm kind of worried about that. They don't tell you which one you're doing, but if it's always 1, 2, 3 is always the same for conviction, I'm gonna be pissed. Because yeah, like 3 times out of 4, the third option is the one I find most interesting. Oh shit, I'm in a bad place here. Six shots to the dome. Get wrecked, kiddo. What are you doing, you weirdo? Ooh, the old spinorama. I almost died there. I'm dead here, yeah. I'm sure people could like game the system and like min-max it and stuff. I wonder how it works. I just try to say like the dialogue option that kind of like vibes with me the most, and then whoever I get, I guess. I guess it adds good replay value. A lot of those tactic games are like that. Like I was watching like a tactics ogre. Okay, see ya. Gotta clean yourself up. Get our life together. Yeah, just kind of like, that's what they say about Bloodborne. That's what they say about a lot. It's probably the best way to play a lot of games. Is just like never optimize your first playthrough. Google stuff after you're done your first one. That's the best way to play. If you're starting to like min-max your first playthrough or something, for me personally, I run out of interest. I lose interest, sorry. That was something I started reading about. Oh, he's shooting him. I started reading about like different mechanics of Dark Souls 2. About 3/4 of the way, 80% of the way through Dark Souls 2. And some of those things, I was texting about them. Some of those things in Dark Souls 2, I was like, how in God's name would you ever find out about this? Like the best example is the power stances. If you're dual wielding 2 identical class weapons and have 150% of the required stats to bear them, if you triangle is the weapon is the button you press to switch between one hand and two-handed mode. If you hold triangle, not press triangle, if you hold triangle, your stance changes differently. Your stance shifts slightly, and you're now in power stance and can have a different moveset. Like, I guess there's some part of the game that tells you that, but that's crazy. There's so many things where I was like, how would you ever know this? The other one is, in this game, your weight only affects the distance of your roll at 10, 30, 50, 70, 90, if I recall correctly. And then your agility stat, your ADP stat, which is defenses and resistances, affects your agility. And then every point of agility affects how many iframes you have during the roll. Crazy. How would you ever fucking figure that out? I'm dead. Oh, force shot, eh? That hit him. So early on that roll again. Back up. That gave me much of a punch opportunity. Close to dead there. Dead now. This boss is boring. Just a fire version of the same thing I fought. I care so little about this right now. Yeah. I agree with you. They are cool. They're kind of like they're not typical linear, boring RPG quests where you know exactly what you're supposed to do. They have like a lot of variation to them, and they're kind of like they're subtle. I'm not sure that's the right word, but I agree with you. It's pretty interesting reading about the ones in this one. If you don't see this person by this point, it's too late. Next time you see them, they're now aligned against you and try to murder you. Okay. Whatever you say, man. If you don't give this person the purple porcelain statue and the Vaseline, then next time they see you, they try to murder you. Unless you use the Unless you use a specific gesture that you learned from a statue in the main plaza. They're like, the whole system of the storyline of the games, and then also like the whole design of the gameplay loop is so much about replayability. And that works too. There's lots of people who are like, I only play Dark Souls 3. And then they see someone else play Dark Souls, they're like, this makes me want to try blah 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 build. I love that shit. Like Dark Souls 2, and there's like these like weirdo esoteric Dark Souls 2 lovers who would drop by the chat. They're like, this makes me want to play a double rapier build. Yeah. There's like a giant brain in this game. Like the only way to get the item without killing the giant brain is to learn the make contact gesture from a statue. What? You have to talk to the statue 3 times. Or do something in front of the statue and then use the make contact gesture for literally 45 seconds. And then the boss, you make contact with the giant alien brain. It's like, are you fucking high? Like that, I'm not joking, that's exactly what it is. Learn the make contact gesture from a statue using a particular gesture. And then hold it for like a minute in the dark against that brain. And that's how you get the blah blah blah. Some rune. Yeah. Especially in Dark Souls 2, the amount of NPCs where they wouldn't give you anything until you talk to them, like their entire dialogue tree. Like 5 lines of 3 dialogue. 5 dialogues of 3 lines, sorry. Oh, that clapped me. One of my favorite parts of Dark Souls 2 was the... Apparently all the beasts are. We were just talking about this earlier. And I think my whip does count as Serration. One of my favorite parts of Dark Souls 2 was the Shaded Woods. Like that bamboo forest with like the invisible guys. That place was so cool. Just hit me with everything, man. It's so cool. I'm dead. No. It was hard to deal with. What are you doing against that? Oh, hopscotch? And this one too, like... Oh. There's a guy, there's like an RPG YouTuber I watch. His name is David Vincent, D-A-V-I-D-V-I-N-C. He's like super enthusiastic, like this big jacked, like really like sunburned dude who's like, I think he's like 41 or something like that, who lives in Vegas. And he like started off to be the classic sort of like top 10 blah blah blah, top 5 Dota, that kind of guy, and now increasingly kind of does like news stuff. Recently he did a video that was like he said the top 10 RPGs all time was his video, and his list was, I watched it yesterday, it came out yesterday. His top 10 RPGs all time was he had 2 relatively recent ones. He had Chained Echoes. He had Star Ocean 2 Remake, Chained Echoes, Golden Sun 1 and 2. I think Dark Cloud was the next one. He had one of the Dragon Quest games, are the early ones. I think Dragon Quest 5. The one with like multiple generations. I think that's 5. He had Trials of Mana, so Secret of Mana 2. And then his top 2, I'm missing a couple, but his top 2 is FF9 and Chrono Trigger. Every list is interesting. It's like someone's opinion. Why am I always back in whip mode? Or cane mode after dying? I just backstab me. Just casually backstab me. Really? Where am I? Yeah. Okay, so I got the threaded cane. So we got a good whip thing going on here. I always wonder why the whip did so well, but mainly I thought it was just the range. I'm dead here. Nope. Get out of my life. Oh yeah, that move. That's a lot of fire damage. How do I get it? Oh, I actually dodged it by going through him. Really? We're being a dick, are we? These are not doing damage. This is when he starts scrabbling on the ground like a little loser. Watch out. Oh god. Can jump in the air. That's him. Casual backhand, so disrespectful. Oh, that range on that is crazy. Wow. I'm dead here. Nope. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, for this guy, from what I read when I was doing a little reading this morning, most beasts have damage to the legs and damage to the head you can do. But for this one, if you damage the legs, it doesn't actually amplify the leg damage you do afterwards. I think it's the only one that is like that. And the head is the only way to get a stagger. At least highly resistant, I'm sure. Some of the previous beast bosses were actually like quite weak to fire. Like I could get in the beginning of the game, I could get a visceral attack stagger on the cleric beast just simply by I want that treat. I could get a visceral stagger on the first boss, the cleric boss, simply by just throwing a Molotov at him. And then like when your first couple of headshots would do the same thing. That's basically the model for this guy. This guy actually is essentially a reskin. Oh, I was using the fucking cane again. What, I didn't hit him? can't tell when that's gonna be 3 and when that's gonna be 4. Spam to shoot his head. Too funny. Oh, it's not good for me. He's not like terribly aggressive. There's not a lot of times where I'm like, I can't get him off me. Ooh, that was close. He's in his baby tantrum phase. Oh, what the fuck? One cool trick in this game, I think I've read about, but I'm not sure how many people actually know it, is... Oh, that's a rare one. The damage you do to yourself to get 5 temporary bullets counts as rally damage, so you can DPS it back. Oh shit. God, it's always the same way I die. He does like a swipe and then 2 more swipes, and then my like roll timing is not great on it. It's almost like every single way I die now is like try to punish him during the move where I think I can punish him the most, and then he does like the kind of swiping moves that I just roll too early. Oh, got a back full of birdshot. I don't know. It's hard for me to be objective about this right now because I am not like... Oh god. It's hard for me to be objective about this because I'm not like my head's not in it really. He's supposed to be, I think, one of the 2... I don't know. I think he's supposed to be considered quite hard. But honestly, most people who have come into the chat have said that Kos and Lawrence were the hard bosses in this. Where for me, it's been Ludwig. I mean, I haven't seen this guy's like 3rd phase, but he's the same as another boss, just with more damage and like fire explosions. Yeah, I did that yesterday before I stopped for dinner. This is the last boss of the DLC. Kos was about an hour and a half, and it was learning that he's very, very quick and very aggressive, but he's very easily parryable. I mean, pretty... I don't know. He took about as much time as Maria, like an hour and a half. I think honestly those like 2 giants with clubs, those 2 giants in the well was like about as hard. In both cases, it's just learning how to parry. This guy is just like, He's so large. This is like everything I dislike about. Well, besides the notably bad fights in this game, the beasts are like everything I dislike about the fights in this game. They're so big that when you're close to them, like your camera is spinning around in circles. Like they have this ridiculous range. They're skinny. They're hard to read with like all this like flowy, sinewy things. Like all the beast bosses suck. I think. Like that, even like Ludwig, that was like the bad part about him. Honestly, they're all just like I think bad. So yeah, Coast was learning how to parry, but then I got there's a clip I can send. There's a clip I got from yesterday, or that Jean got, where I got like a really nice like mid-air gun parry on him. It was sick. But I think these beast bosses suck. I think they're so bad. Huge swipes. Like crazy range. Sometimes if you're close enough to hit them, like your camera's like just a mess. You're locked in. I'm a fan. They've all been like, all the beast fights in this game, of which there's like 6, they've all been like vaguely unpleasant experiences. Actually, some of them quite unpleasant. Like the Bloodstar Beast, I might be dead here. Bloodstar Beast is the smallest one, so he's the quickest one. You know how like in a game, if there's a game where like Shadows of the Colossus, or I don't know, whenever there's a game where there's a lot of like one breed of giant creature, and then there's one who's the same breed but he's like smaller and faster, they're like always the biggest bitch. Like the Cart Titan. No, who's the really like the Jaw Titan in Attack on Titan compared to the other ones? God, he's so annoying. I hate the beast bosses. The best things about Bloodborne are the aesthetic. Ow. The best thing about Bloodborne are the aesthetic and like the nimble responsiveness of your character. I can't even see myself. But I think the beast bosses suck. And there's like, I've seen people say similar things. Like, that's the criticism of Bloodborne, is basically just bad bosses. Where am I? See, the camera did like a 360 there. Big trouble here. He has a ton of health. I've been wailing this guy for like 4 minutes. He's like at 45%. Shit. Are you dead here? Yeah. You think they figured out how to make beast bosses in DS3? I'm gonna find out. I think the Cart Titan is the funniest thing. Yeah, that's good, I guess. I'm used to most of his moves at this point. I think the Cart Titan is hilarious. So funny. Like, how did he think of that idea? And like, how did that Titan evolve over time in medieval society? Like, Jaw Titan, Attack Titan, Colossal, all these Titans make sense. Yeah, but like, what is the deal with the Cart Titan, historically speaking? Before they had, you know, rear-mounted manned turrets to put on top of it, what was the point? What was the point of that Titan? And the Jaw Titan's funny because the Jaw Titan's always just kind of getting bullied by everyone. The Jaw Titan is dangerous, but the Jaw Titan just kind of gets wrecked. Just kind of gets wrecked in every single fight the entire time. I thought it was so cool. If I was watching this show when I was like 14, do you understand how jacked up I'd be? With like Eren having, like, how many Titans does he have inside him by the end of it? He's like at least 3, right? Yeah, the Beast Titan. So he technically, I don't think he technically has the Beast Titan in him. But he's got like the hardening one. What's it called? What's the name? Forget the name of that one. The hardening one the royal family has. He has like at least 3 Titans in him later on. It's so funny. I always get hit by that. Did I just get double hit? Did I get hit by swipe and fire? What is this guy doing? Any boss with like full 270 sweeps like really turns me off. Oh, I'm dead here. Yeah. I rewatched the whole series when I was in. I rewatched the whole series up until the final season in 2022. And then watched the rest of them kind of over the past year. I was very, very touched by like Mikasa's last lines. The way the things went with Eren and like the way that the big 3 kind of interact with each other, I thought was quite touching. Pretty good. Did some kind of classic story stuff. Of like, oh, the main guy had like omniscient style knowledge. Sometimes that's cool, sometimes it's a bit of like shortchanging. I don't know, it's pretty good. Mind? I'm trying to get blood vessels here. There's a lot of things that I don't really remember that well. One thing I really liked about the show is how long they preserved the mystery for. Maybe the guy was still trying to figure out what to do with it. But it's not till like the beginning of the second last season or whatever it is. It's hard to say technically what it was. Is when they start to do all of like the big reveals. They waited a long time. I thought that was like terrific. The best part of the show, in my opinion, is the mystery. There's almost nothing I love more than stories, and it seems to be very popular with Japanese stories. Maybe not coincidentally considering their history, but like I love when you have a world where people are kind of just existing, but no one has like any memory of what happened past like a couple thousand years ago. And you have to kind of figure out the mystery. Xenogears is like that. Xenogears I wouldn't say is like a valid contender for the greatest RPG ever, but it is for me personally. You know how like favored versus great? The way they like introduced me to a lot of interesting concepts. I mean, unapologetically influenced by Evangelion, but also like just an incredibly good story. and like really fucking stirring to like watch when you're like a kid. I guess I guess a one shot. Season 3. What happened in season 3? It's all kind of blending into me. Is season 3 where they start to do all the revelations, or is it like near like before that when it's like big action climaxes? You do have to wonder about the Xenogears thing. Sometimes the mystery of what could have been almost like makes something better. And like they've known to blame for themselves from what I understand. Like Squaresoft was like, you have lost control of this project. You didn't have the time to be doing the thing you're trying to do. They got kind of like just got lost in the ambition of it. Yeah, that is I think the best season. The thing I like so much about Attack on Titan is there are so few shows that have the courage to be really emotionally sincere. Do you know what I mean? Like, a lot of shows would be like, yeah, these are really serious parts, but let's have some lighthearted parts. And like, let's kind of like cringe away from emotion a little bit and have some kind of meta commentary. Largely because I think a lot of writers are people who are like professional writers. So they don't want to be like, I don't know, tawdry or like overly emotional. But the thing that I thought Attack on Titan did so well was to be like a really, really serious, heartfelt show that was serious to the point of corny and like rolled with it. So few shows actually have that, like the courage to be that, to go that far with it. I think that's great. I just really admire that. Guys, I brought pigs. Guys, I brought ribs. Oh, I'm in a little bit of a pickle here. Where'd the pigs go? I'm fighting these guys myself? Like a fucking poor man? Oh, dude, I just got up. Where are the pigs? Really? That didn't work very well. But like just the mystery of the basement and like the mystery of the world and all the history, like their ability to make like the little segue screens, basically like the loading screens, to make those like always these little tags of the mystery. Are these guys coming or not? What the fuck's happening? Piggies! Excuse me, I'm dead here. Nope, that was close. Whew. Oh, he went for them. Leave the piggy alone. This is a hilarious strat. This guy big. I think so. Sometimes in like the season where they say everything about Eldia and what's the name of the other Marley and everything. Sometimes I'm like, all right, this is a little something. But one of my favorite things about it is the time period they chose to go with. Where it's like kind of like World War I-ish, like Civil War, like 1900-ish technology. Where it's like the Titans are starting to become irrelevant. That's cool. That is really interesting. The same way that like in my like film criticism book, they're talking about Sam Peckinpah and how Sam Peckinpah has a lot of his westerns, like I think The Magnificent Seven is the one I'm thinking about. They have like a lot of those westerns are like in Mexico around like 1905 when they're starting to be like Gatling guns. You know what I mean? It's a whole different era. That's still kind of the Wild West, but in a lot of ways quite different. That's kind of, I think that was quite cool because it's like sort of medieval, but also you started to be able, you can have like zeppelins and like gas powered gears. That's awesome, I think. Gotta reset my thing. Have you noticed that I've been desynced at all? Audio and video? No one's really complained about it recently. I guess I've been on top of it. Resync about every 2 hours. One of the most exciting segments in that show is the beginning of I guess that third season when Aaron disguises himself and goes to Marley. And there's like just that insane conflict when they do the speech, when they do like that ceremony at the plaza. That is amazing. That was so hype to finally get him have that, let him have that like actual payoff. Everyone comes in to save him. He's eating people. He's almost dying. Like it's just such a roller coaster. That's like one of the most. That's one of the most interesting parts. Okay, so if you do that and don't leave them down the stairs, you don't get as many to kill here. I should eat soon. I'm hungry. Oh, this guy's such an animal. Kind of looks like he could be like a. That guy kind of looks like he could be like beyond the wall in Game of Thrones. This guy, the huge size. If that's like kind of like a root tree beard type thing, that guy could be like beyond the wall. I just finished book 7 of the Wheel of Time last night. On to 8. Just hit me every time, please. I love it. See, I can't even see where I am. One of the keys to visceral attacks is the patience. Dead. Dead? Is that his undead? See, I'm so close to him. Very hard to deal with. What the fuck just happened? Where am I? Oh, this is the next phase? Now he's a crawly boy? Get the head! I don't like this at all. He's leaking fire. What do I do here? Oh, we're doing that now, are we? How long does the lava last for? Not like that. Oh shit. I'm in trouble here. Why are those bullets not hitting? What the fuck? Too far away? What? I don't like this part. Oh, I deserve that. Ah. I gotta watch out for that. That's the last turn and burn. Yeah, one more heal after this. I think I'm probably gonna get drained out here. Watch out. I'm gonna fire shit. Oh, that one gets me. Okay. Well, I'm doomed. Well, it's nice knowing you. Oh, the range on that is so crazy. And he attacks again after that. Cheeser. Alright, time to play perfect. Give me a visceral. Iron Isles Knight? Was that still talking about Attack on Titan? It's better just to run past these guys and not really care whether I get one extra blood vial here or something. Okay, last attempt before I eat. I'm not gonna eat much, but I need something. He stunned him with the stupid torch. I tell you, that torch ability is so OP. The back up and torch swing is one of the most effective moves in the Bloodborne canon. No one can beat that. It's unparalleled DPS. Piss off. Oh, it's a one shot. Right in the palm of the hand. Alright. This way I can start the smoker early. Actually get a good smoke on the chicken this time. Do now 3. Should be ready at like 7. That's the dream. Did you see my attempt where I got him to the final phase there? Like the one before this? So it's a half chicken, and so it's just under a kilogram. So it should still be a 3 to 4 hour thing at 230 to 250. So I'm gonna put it low. I'm gonna put it at 230, and then put it on now, and then hopefully just eat it at like 7. Just kind of finish it under the grill so I get some crispiness on it. And then yeah, if I do that now, I can have dinner at a normal hour so I can eat my ice cream. Because it's a half. So last night I did an hour at 250 and then an hour tinfoil wrapped at 300, and it was totally done afterwards. Why is the spatch smoke better? Okay, yeah, I'll be back.